I was in medical sales, and it looked like there was an opportunity to provide this high-tech laser equipment to hospitals on a rental basis versus having to buy the stuff. So it just looked like a need that was being unfulfilled. Everybody thinks that hospitals and surgery centers own their own high-tech equipment, and when they hear the word mobile, they're a little blown away by the concept.
Yeah, we try not to advertise that we've got high-tech equipment in the back of the vans.
We really thought that the direction of the company would be cosmetics, and as it turns out, about 80% of our business today is more surgical based. So we're very, very well diversified in most specialties that use lasers.
We've done some charity stuff where we did tattoo removal on ex-gang members. You know, these guys have made some bad decisions in their past and just trying to change their lives.
But we've also had people that have wanted to bring in their friend or neighbor or relative that's got some tattoo that happened over a spring break. It's fun being a part of an ever-changing, quickly evolving field like lasers and surgery.
Myself and the other two co-founders had all worked in Silicon Valley-based companies. And when the bubble burst, we found ourselves either laid off or our companies collapsed. And we all came back to Kansas City. One of the key problems we were trying to solve was, how do we form a company and provide a product and service that is not going to have the same risk of being offshored because of lower dollar costs? So we ended up focusing initially on interactive voice response systems. If you ever called a bank or a credit card company, it says press 1 for this, press 2 for that. And we felt like no one in their right mind, no large company, would offshore the speech recognition work, because strong familiarity not only with English, but also the differences in accents, whether in the Northeast or the South or the Western states or in Minnesota. And in fact, it turned out we were right. I like to say that a product manager, a programmer, and a networking guy walked into a bar and out walked a company.
I started with the idea of helping small businesses through consulting and helping them with support services that I needed when I started my original company 15 years ago. A lot of small businesses don't have a plan when they have a great idea. I'm dealing with a company right now that's a durable medical device company. They didn't know how to get their insurance. They didn't know how to get their receivables. Our consultants sat down with them to identify what those steps would be and did a budget for them and have relationships with not only insurance but bankers, investment people, and things that they will need in the future as they grow. We actually have 100% retention with our clients, and I think that's one of the selling points for DVA, and that tells us that we're doing our job well.
I started in 1986 and was fortunate enough to steal my daughter away from graduate school in the 1990s, and we formed a mother-daughter team, and it's been the best thing I've ever done.
We really enjoy working together. We have a great time doing it.
80% of our business is residential real estate, but we do have...
It is, it's 90!
So we don't always agree, and guess what? We do it democratically and vote, and then I pout for a week.
Oh, she does not. She usually wins.
Yeah.
She's very persuasive.
We have been the #1 team for over 15 years running. When we went out of state and saw what others were doing, we were the first realtors to come back and say, we want pictures on signs. We want this little info box that tells about the house so the buyers can get it and not feel like they're threatened by the agent. We were one of the first realtors to ever have our own website.
We have a fabulous magazine, and I know we're the only team in town that has one, and that really is responsible for a lot of the business that we do. And I know we enjoy getting up every morning and going to work.
Because every time we tell a client we sell their house, or they got the house of their dreams, we go, yeah!
We started our company based on a lack that we saw in the marketplace. What we wanted to do is develop lifelong trusting relationships with our clients and do comprehensive financial planning solutions for our clients.
Well, I work with business owners and do not just financial planning, but also business consulting. Kelly's specialty is with sudden wealth clients and high-income professionals. Kathy works with divorcees and widows, and Jamie works with retirees. So by each having our own specialty niche in terms of planning, we can go deep within the client's lifestyle needs.
I mean, we're looking at every area of your life. We're looking at, you know, your risk management. Is your emergency fully funded? Are your kids going to be able to go to college?
It's not unusual for us to help people find therapists if that's what they need. It's a comfortable environment. I mean, we usually wear jeans. We bring the dogs to the office. If we have clients that are sensitive to the dogs, we'll put them in somebody's office. It's not like we're totally insensitive to the drool. But people relax, and once they feel like, okay, these people are real, they're authentic, they can bare their souls.
I mean, our clients have actually said the words, "You've saved our lives," which is pretty powerful.
What led to my future career was my work with doing background checks through what used to be called the Foreign Counterintelligence Squad. This business is really vital now. At the last total, over 80% of all U.S. employers do some kind of employment screening. We offer criminal record histories, but we do things like driving records, we verify employment, education, credentials, credit reports, and with kids especially in youth-based organizations, you want to make sure that the right person's volunteering for the right reason. There is about a 6 to 8% what we call a criminal hit rate, but it only takes one. And what we do is not necessarily look for background information to prevent someone from getting a job. Just because an individual has a criminal conviction does not mean he or she is not employable. It simply means that he or she doesn't belong in a certain role. A convicted embezzler is probably not the best idea for a bank teller at your bank or my bank. I wish everybody had a spotless record out there and then everybody's working in the right areas, but fact of the matter is employers today need to know.
Hi, I started Wilco Technologies in December 2005 in order to respond to a need by the federal government to track training for the U.S. Department of Defense. Our country's computer systems are hacked about every 17 seconds, and it's a mandatory requirement that everyone who uses a federal computer must know how to protect it. So our software helps the U.S. Department of Defense determine which personnel need which training. It tracks it for them and reports the results in a proprietary database. In late 2009, there was a defense appropriation that was signed by the President mandating the use of our software for the entire Department of Defense. So as of December 2009, we now have 3 million licenses sold to the United States Department of Defense. A lot of times when people hear our story, they feel as though perhaps we don't have solutions for them. There's one thing I'd like to convey is that our solutions work for any size government and almost any application. Use technology to make life easier.